Hello, and here I am doing a badly recorded Microsoft Word style inspirational or attempt to be inspirational presentation that is being game recorded. Let's get into it. A big question really is luck and hard work and success. Is luck important? Is hard work important? What's more important? Is it 50-50, 75%, 30%, 25%? And I watched a Veritasium video recently, and the conclusion was think it is hard work, but know that it is also luck. It's a great video, check it out, and it's really what inspired me to make this presentation in the first place. Um, I get really frustrated or angry when I hear people trying to separate them into percentages and say, well, it's X% luck and hard work, because I think there really is no such thing. So what is luck? Well, luck really comes in two forms. It comes in opportunity and it comes in inspiration. Opportunity can be something like monetary opportunity. It could also come, and this is in terms of development, right? Whether it's development to becoming rich, or having more money, or having a good relationship, or just being happy, something with life, being a good artist, being a good mathematician, like whatever it is. I'm looking at this from the perspective that you're trying to develop further. So luck can come in the form of opportunity. If you win the lottery, this comes in form of monetary opportunity, and you can take this money and you can perhaps invest in a company, start a company, right? Learn about stocks, right? Luck can also come in opportunities that are not necessarily monetary, but can offer growth. For example, um, if you get the opportunity to have a great internship, or you get the opportunity, like you win a raffle and you get a ticket to a museum, it's an opportunity for you to learn. This is also part of luck. The other form that luck can come in is in terms of inspiration. So you may have the greatest physics teacher ever, and the teacher may inspire you to go into physics or math or art or so forth. Right? This is luck coming in form of inspiration. Perhaps you, by chance, found the greatest book ever. Right? This comes in the form of inspiration. Or perhaps by chance, you even play a game and you learn some really meaningful concepts, philosophies, ideas, skills even through that game. Or maybe you were doing math problems and you found this really beautiful math problem that inspired you to research more into that topic. So luck can also come in the form of inspiration. Now let's look at hard work. Hard work will come in terms, hard work, you can do hard work in, I think, three main ways. There's independent thinking. So if you're practicing math problems or if you're reading, this independent thinking. There's group thinking, where it's kind of similar to independent thinking, but you're doing it with someone. So you have the opportunity to learn from each other. This could be you being with a classmate. It could also be you with a teacher or with a colleague or with your boss, right? So group thinking can also come in that. Um, the final one that I think is very important, people always miss out on, and I'll get to this a little bit later, is research and searching, seeking, if you will. So hard work, say you want to become, just for this example, let's say you want to become a great artist, okay? So hard work comes not in only the form of, let's say, you taking time to read up on art books and taking the time to draw and paint, right? It's not only comes in the form of, let's say, you sharing your art with others and talking about art, but also comes with looking for opportunities, research and searching. For example, you look to see if there's any exhibit nearby, or if there's a master class, or maybe there is a teacher nearby that is very highly rated and you would like to learn from the teacher. So these are all things, or maybe an art competition that you could take part in. So all these things come from research and searching. So from seeking out, you will get more opportunities. And from opportunities can come inspiration, right? Say you go to a museum. So say, for example, you look for opportunities for art. and you find that there's a museum exhibit, and you go to a museum, you see a painting, you get inspired, right? So, or even if you're doing a lot of independent work, you could see something and that could be inspirational. Or if you're doing group work, you get a lot of cool people to talk about. You can learn a ton from these people, right? And that can also be inspiring. And those same cool people can also provide you with certain opportunities. And if you notice, hard work at the end, one important thing, really, is that it brings about luck. And of course, I didn't write it here, but independent thinking will also improve benefits such as skill. And that's also true with group thinking and possibly even research. But the main point I'm trying to get at here is at the end, hard work can create luck. So how I go about starting a subject. First thing is to try, okay? Stop saying, but I'm a bad artist, I'm a bad gamer, I don't play League. Stop with that. That's just ridiculous. Oh, I don't play the piano, so does that mean you can't ever learn the piano? Step one, try, okay? You don't have to be great. Actually go into it with the mindset that you are terrible, right? You're just starting. So what? Everyone in the field is going to be better than you. Don't expect to be the best in the field if you're just starting. Two, getting to know it better. This is when you have an idea of how this either a game or a sport or an activity works. You have an idea of how it works. And this is the part where you're trying to improve your skill level as quickly as possible. And this is just improving through the fundamentals. It's stuff that anyone who has spent any amount of time in the field with should know pretty well. And so learning from people is probably the fastest way to improve this. You can improve your skill very quickly by talking to someone who is familiar with the field because they will likely know the basics very well. And three, this is when it becomes, you're at this level where you've grasped the fundamentals and you're trying to build your own style and you're starting to learn more advanced things. In art especially, these are things that don't necessarily have a right or wrong. There's certain differences and certain techniques that some people agree with and disagree with, and you're trying to sort your way through all that. If you're doing math, for example, this is the point where you have all the knowledge necessary to, let's say, you're doing math contests and you're a high school student, somewhere at the end of grade 11, maybe beginning grade 12 math, you have all the mathematical knowledge. So you pass step 2. At this point, you're trying to familiarize yourself more with the knowledge. And the things you're doing here are independent thinking, so basically more familiarization on your own, opportunities, finding more opportunities to learn about the subject, and 3, improve your luck, which I'll get to a little more in just a second. The world is complicated, and you can never predict luck, but you can guide it, okay? So luck is really, it's a beast. It's like trying to control the giant tiger, or the weather. You're not going to control it, right? There's no way you could possibly do that. And the world is so complex, and there's some people who are very logical, and there's some people who aren't very logical, and there are spontaneous. There's moments of spontaneity, and there's moments of true randomness, like the lottery. So the world is complicated. Some things are very predictable, and some things are only mildly predictable. So you can never quite predict life, okay? But what you can do, as with all things, is guide it slightly. Another thing I'd like to just touch on is that luck is different, and it's not necessarily positive. So some things can be positive, and some things will seem positive for a long time, and it might turn out to have a net positive effect. But oftentimes, luck isn't positive or negative. We've all seen stories where something bad happens, but that bad thing prevents something worse from happening, right? For example, someone breaks his leg in a skateboarding accident, and because of that, there's a war going on. He doesn't get drafted to the war, and he ends up saving his life, or something like that. So, luck is different, and it doesn't necessarily have a positive or negative influence. So when someone says they have bad luck, oftentimes it's not necessarily bad luck, but just what seems to be unfortunate luck for the time being. So say for an example that's a little more long term would be, say for example, there's a struggling artist and he's really not that great at art, okay? And people really don't like his art and he's not getting them sold or published at exhibitions or whatever. And he says, well, I'm getting terrible luck at all. It's because he thinks his paintings are great. And say this list of unfortunate events drives him to eventually realizing that art is not a viable career for him, and maybe he becomes a very successful entrepreneur. If he had better luck in art, perhaps he would have gotten some things published, and he might have stuck in art for the rest of his life, but would not have become the incredible entrepreneur that he did become. So, and again, I'm not saying that quitting something will guarantee success in another field. It could, which is why luck is not necessarily good or bad. It's a difference. Life is an extensive tree diagram. Every decision you make, every time you spend time on something, you make decisions. And we have this decision diagram of outcomes, and this expands with infinite depth. And luck guides that. And this diagram is so complicated and fascinating and deep that it is basically impossible to predict what can happen. So in that case, what are we to judge whether certain pieces of luck are positive or negative? Lottery winners have a higher chance of dying than most people, and most lottery winners aren't happier a few years after winning the lottery. Do we still consider that good luck? I believe and understand that luck is important for success, for life, for how you look at life. But you can only control what you do. Thankfully, what you do can influence luck. A lot of people think that luck is out of your control, and the truth is they aren't. Even with something as ridiculously luck-based as the lottery, you can still influence it to a certain extent. You buy more tickets. Now, I'm not recommending that. I think that's a very dumb decision. But if you want to win the lottery, buying more tickets will increase your chance at it. Basically, anything that's luck-based, you can do something that will influence it. I disagree with the saying that hard work is most important, because hard work and luck are so inherently intertwined. And in some ways, and sometimes, luck is very important. It far weighs out luck. Sometimes could be. And there are other times where that certainly isn't the case. I think, again, the world is so complicated and so different for people that it's a pointless argument to say which one is more important. There are Nobel Prize winners who have done research and then they get their Nobel Prize 10, 20 years later. It is very likely that they would have not gotten that prize. So is this luck? I think it is very dependent on luck. Sorry. There are so many projects that are worthy of getting great big prizes, but a lot of them don't get it. So that's why I disagree, if I can spell that correctly, with the saying that hard work is most important. It's not, but nor is luck most important. It depends on the situation, and even if you know the situation, I still say it is too complicated for you to make that decision which one is more important. However, life philosophy is the process, well, my life philosophy is that life is a process of seeking out more. And in this experience, you will gain both knowledge, well, not both, because there's three items, you will gain knowledge, skill, and luck. Luck is a power well beyond your control, but that doesn't mean it is out of your control. Just as I said, everything you do can influence luck a bit. Remember up here when I said hard work and it ends up being hard work creating luck? That's my view. You can never predict luck, it is far too complex, but you can do things that will likely improve your chances at something. So, some people say, go about life putting the emphasis on hard work. I think that is necessary only if you really dislike what you do. So you're saying, well, I have to work hard at it and eventually I'll make money from it. And there are responsibilities in daily life where you do have to do that. But with a lot of hobbies and things you want to learn and get better at. That is not true. When you go about life, you should always remember the 3 parts of hard work. These are the things you can completely control. You look out for more opportunities. You do independent thinking, and you do group thinking. These 3 things, if you do all of them, not one of them a lot, if you do all of them, you're going to improve your skill and knowledge for sure, right? Skill is just familiarity with knowledge. But you'd also be able to find more opportunities and make more connections, and that can create better luck. In fact, I dare say that if you do have great opportunities and connections, it is very likely you will have a better outcome to success, and you will get better luck than someone who doesn't. And you could attribute that to saying, oh, it's luck, but at the same time, be aware that you kind of created that, you did create that luck. Certainly, you can certainly learn to have luck be on your side. So I'm going to summarize this just a little bit. 1, luck creates hard work. Luck creates opportunity. Say, for example, you weren't super interested in stocks. If you suddenly got a lot of money, you might be more interested in learning that stocks. Luck creates inspiration, which, if you're inspired to do something, you likely spend more time and effort on it. Luck creates hard work. Hard work creates skill and luck. Don't be afraid to just try something and be terrible at it. Don't be embarrassed, you're starting. Who cares? Don't try to understand luck, don't try to predict luck, and don't ask questions that try to quantify the importance of luck or hard work. It's impossible. It's way too situation dependent. But what you can do is work intelligently, right? Do the correct types of hard work, work intelligently and efficiently, and through that, have luck be on your side.